ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Nerd Sports 105. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about lingerie, MMA fighting. And what it is it's funny as hell. Because what it is women in lingerie. I mean, it could be just like the bras and panties. It could be like a whole like bodysuit, like the not
They're
a
called teddies or nighties, yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but no. What's the full swimsuit type thing?
What the one piece?
One piece.
Yeah, it's called a swimsuit.
But they got bikini swimsuits and they got like one piece swimsuit. God,
I'm sorry. You don't see women swimming, like actively doing the breaststroke in a bikini.
That's
because there's strings involved. No.
Yes.
They're swimming.
Bikinis are not for getting wet.
Yeah, bikinis are not for getting wet. They are for inducing tan lines and looks.
It's very true.
okay. Well, basically they get to wrestle around and beat the crap out of each other.
In lace. It's amazing.
In
And
lace.
you don't have to do it in Jello either. So, the cleanup afterwards is much easier.
Yeah, that's true.
I just see
Concept,
Blue.
just not as messy.
I just see Blue standing there calling Will Ferrell a pussy.
You're my boy, Blue.
I love that movie.
We're going streaking.
That is exactly how I want to die too. Yeah. I want that in my will. That is how I want to die.
Streaking?
No.
Or covered in KY jelly.
How Blue died.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, covered in KY jelly. All right, got you.
Yep. Staring at titties.
I can make that happen.
No, not middies. Not moves.
I mean, if you
I want the real thing. Full on God
not
given.
like movies.
I mean, it would cost me $5,000, but I'd still do it.
It's not the same.
You're not Ed Helms, and this isn't the end of The Hangover 3, so
are we gonna go with let's go off on the sports news at the end of the show with some of the sports stuff that we both found out. But did the I know the Marlins, like, did they get the opening record for the first part?
You mean the Rays? They got off to a 13-0 start, but they didn't get much further past than that. So
yeah,
right now they're 14-2. Yeah, I mean, it's the Rays. Let's see here. The Rangers unveiled their new City Connect jerseys today. And there's a mythical creature on the sleeve of that uniform. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted about it. It's got like a very Latino spray paint kind of esque TX on the right breast. It's got their jersey number on the left breast. On the sleeve, it's called a Peagle, and it's during the design process, it represented two of Dallas-Fort Worth's minor league teams prior to the Rangers' arrival in '72, the Fort Worth Panthers, who soon became the Cats, and the Dallas Eagles. And it looks, I don't know, it kind of looks like a Liger.
A Liger?
Almost, like but yeah, it's tastefully done. I mean, it definitely has a Hispanic flair to it. And it's not too far removed from some of the from some of the beer league uniforms that you see in the Metroplex area. So I'm kind of digging on them a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna buy one, but I'm kind of digging on them. I don't know. I that's not true. I might get one maybe for Nathan Eovaldi. Not too terribly sure about that yet. But the Texas Rangers, dude, they have put the AL West on notice. I mean,
I'm looking at the logo right now. I don't hate it.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it feels a little busy. Like it's. I don't know. If you don't know what it is you're looking, if you don't know what it is you're looking at, it'd be hard to know that it's Texas Rangers.
Right. Now, Atlanta, I think like a couple of weeks ago, unveiled their City Connect jersey. Now, that one goes back to the '70s era Braves uniform, which I'm kind of digging on. But the hat just and then the model, the male model that they had showing off this unveil, like the dude had a ludicrous style fro coming out from underneath the hat. Right. And I'm just like,
it's Atlanta, so
yeah, I'm just not.
They're called Eagle.
Texas is off to a 9-6 start. And and I'm just kind of like, okay. I mean, they just recently got done beating up on the Astros.
Yeah.
So and we will.
I know Houston took one of those games, but
yeah, they did. They took, I think it was the second game, but
they did. But
yeah,
they whooped them.
Yeah, they did.
First and the third game,
so
whooped them.
Yeah. And just to show you how strikingly accurate the new MLB The Show 23 game is, I've been playing it, and I got called up from AAA. But I got promoted to AAA, and I was there for like a week and a half, and then I got promoted to the big league club. So making my major league debut for the Boston Red Sox at Minute Maid Park. Right. And so I'm looking at the win-loss record. I'm watching the whole pregame like intro thing or whatever, right? Yeah, the 2020 or the 2023 Red Sox that I'm playing for are currently like 17 games under 500, and I'm just sitting there going, man, that's rough.
That's
I mean,
art imitating real life.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now the Red Sox are 8-9. I mean, they lost to the Astros today. I mean, to the Angels today. But I'm just sitting there going, oh man, I'm just kind of like, I mean, the Twins, they're doing. I mean, they're hot right now. The Rangers are at 9-6. I mean, they're leading the division by a whole game. Now, granted, we're only 15 games into the season, but still.
They haven't had a hot start like that in a long time.
Yeah, a long time. So, for all of the Rangers fans that listen, for the one at the bottom of my screen, I'm going to quote Mr. Wolf from Pulp Fiction. Let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet.
No. And that's like when I messaged you the other day. I was like, man, the Rangers have had a great start this month. They're doing great this month. It's only I understand completely. It's only April.
Right. And nobody has ever won the World Series in April. So
I want to get ahead of myself, but yes, we're having great April.
Now we've got your front runners, right? And then we've got the bottom of the barrel. We've got the Kansas City Royals, who are currently sitting at 4-12. The Oakland A's are at 3-13. And this just in, the Oakland A's have been officially eliminated from postseason contention.
It took longer this year.
It did. It really did. I mean, it took longer than the first pitch, but I mean, they're at a negative 63 run differential right now. So by comparison, you got the Tampa Bay Rays, who are leading the world right now at plus 72. So, but that's just because, the hitters get out to a hot start. The pitching staff is just, pitching out their butt, the backside.
Well, a lot of people are saying that they just have that easy schedule. The first half of their schedule is pretty easy.
Well, that might be the case, but with the new quote unquote balanced schedule that Major League Baseball put out, for example, the Red Sox and the Yankees don't play each other until June or July, and they're division rivals. So what Major League Baseball wanted to do is they wanted to put a premium on interleague play. And so you're going to play every other team in the major leagues, regardless as to what National League or American League. And so, I mean, it's theoretical that you could technically, if you were to go on a home run tear, a player could theoretically hit a home run in every major league ballpark in a single season. Now, you still hear a lot of chatter about the pitch clock and the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Angels lost to the Red Sox, right? On the anniversary of the Boston bombing, and they brought out the 2013 World Series team, the whole 9 yards, right? Red Sox played that game and won 2-1 in an hour and 58 minutes.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
That game zipped.
Dude, that's less than a hockey game.
Right. Now, in accordance with the or to speak the vernacular that you and I are so accustomed to, Chris, to piggyback off of that previous statement, the Houston Astros and Minute Maid Park have announced that they will not stop beer sales at the seventh inning. They will continue all the way to the end of the game and still make alcohol and food available after the game's conclusion.
Yeah, because they're losing money from that. They talked about on Drinking Bros about how they had to extend it because they had to make money somehow.
Extra
money.
Yeah, they do, and and I'm okay with it. And it's like, all right, here's what I would like to see. You've got, just like at football games, people tailgate before and after the game. They usually kind of fire the girls back up, or they sit around and shoot the shit for a period of time after the game is over. One, so that way they could try to sober up, or B, they can wait till the parking lot thins out and they can leave the parking lot without having to stop 500,000 times. I'd like to see baseball fans really start to embrace that part of that culture a little bit more openly. I know that at least it used to be whenever, before the Rangers opened up that lunchbox that they call a stadium now, when they were playing across the street at the Rangers ballpark, you would see tailgaters. You'd get there early enough to where you try to get into the ballpark to see batting practice. And you would just pass canopy tents after canopy tent, people grilling out,
which was awesome because I went to the Cowboy Stadium because I was going to visit with Chris.
Yeah,
and it's just a line of canopy tents, and they have like TVs. They have all the amenities there. It's like we're going to take our stuff and just bring it out here.
Yeah, I mean, the only other culture that I've seen do that are NASCAR fans. Now, I know that when Texas had 2 races a year, I mean, I used to go twice a year to those races, and we would get there at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. We'd set up, we'd eat breakfast, and before breakfast was even done cooking, I'm cracking open my first one. It's not a problem unless you go to a meeting, and I don't. So there you go.
It's the weekend. Who gives a shit?
Refreshing.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, by that pace, you could probably throw down a 12-pack before lunch, but
Yeah, but he
you're
does look
moving
like
around, you're active, and you're consuming food throughout the course of the day. So, I mean, you could theoretically put down a case before, the race had like 75 laps left to go. So you could kind of sort of sober up. But yeah, once that sun goes down, once the sun goes down, you are screwed.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know what's sad? I was gonna do this as a joke just now, and sorry for interrupting, but it is now a hateful thing to tell somebody that they're a Bud Light drinker. I was about to just like, he seems like he's a Bud Light drinker. He pops a Bud Light in his dress.
Yeah.
No,
I bought another. I was running low on beer in the fridge out in the garage. Normally drink Shiner, but I was like, I'm feeling like a kind of a lager. So we got a 6-pack of Dos Equis and brought them home. And my oldest stepson, he's like, I thought you drank Bud Light. And I'm like, that's tranny fluid. And he looked at me. And he looked at me like, what? And him and his mom, his mom,
got nothing to do with it.
Mindy and I had to kind of explain that to him.
We had to go to a chalkboard.
Yeah.
It's
like the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Direct correlation there.
Yeah, exactly. So
what was it? What was that one I sent? I sent you guys is the enema one. We still drink. We still use Bud Light.
Speaking of which, just a real quick side note before we go on to you, David. I apologize for interrupting you. At last count, Anheuser-Busch has lost $5 billion.
Really? I didn't think it would be that much
a month.
Yep.
That's
CEO,
not. Yeah.
Their CEO has stepped down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they felt this one. You know, and it was okay. So I this was this weekend. It was
the company doesn't know that's on
end of the week. End of the week. I was in I want to say 54th Street Bar. It was one of the local bar. Anyways, I didn't even see it on tap.
Shit. Hold on, guys.
I actually
do a quick we're gonna pause right now because my fucking computer just decided to restart. So give me a sec. I'm gonna pause it right here. Or we just
so this is the live, raw, and unfiltered kind of
you get the BTS.
Good God.
Okay, so we're not restarting, so yay. Fucking
our producer, we pay him in mice droppings and sawdust. I think we might need to actually give him maybe some pennies. Throw some pennies his way, just so we can say that we have paid him with hard currency. We should forcibly hurl them at his head.
Make it snow.
Mm-hmm.
Make it hail.
Make it rain.
Hey, you're not making it rain. Making it rain means like gentle drops. If you're getting tosses on
rain, no. You saw Forrest Gump. Rain can come in sideways. Remember?
But that's not what I'm getting at.
That's what I'm getting at.
Getting at, Chris, is that he's dropping subtle hints. He's going to start wearing brown polyester pants that are so tight that when we hit him in the back of the leg with a sack of nickels, he can go apply for a job as a waiter at Denny's.
I'm more of a Waffle House type guy. I have
that's just too damn bad because Wichita Falls doesn't have any Waffle Houses.
I know.
Ain't none here in San Antonio either, which is
it's in Dallas.
That is a shame that we only have it in Dallas area and Houston.
It's the reason why your crime rate's up so high.
Waffle House, because we know all the Waffle House executives are listening to us. Fix this. Fix this shit.
Hey, and we need one down here in Lake Jackson. So, kind of maybe get on that. Just kind of putting that out there.
There you go.
We've got a really nice looking Denny's. At least it's nice on the outside. I haven't been inside of it yet. But
Who the fuck eats at Denny's anymore?
People who leave the bar when they close. People, okay, so the type of people that the type of people that frequent Denny's are the ones who think that they are going to score with a 10 when they leave the bar, and they're like, let's go get something to eat before I fill you out like a job application. They get to Denny's with just enough of the ugly lights turned on that they realize that they pulled a pterodactyl out of the tar pit. And it gives them the opportunity to skip out on the bill. Like, I got to go take go to the bathroom. And then they, with all the dexterity of a paratrooper, scaled out the window and hop in their car and take off.
See, and that's gyms, but with better food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually know.
And
actually,
dare I say,
would actually stick around and actually eat the food. That's the only difference.
And I am going out. I'm bravely going to state this as a matter of fact. Denny's, with the current state of affairs, is just slightly above, if not on par, with what IHOP is pushing out of the kitchen these days.
That's true. I actually know a guy that he would go to the bars. He would pick up the ugly chicks first. I mean, he would skim out the ugly chicks first and bring them out. He's like, "Go ugly first, or you're not going home with the pretty."
Cletus T. Judd wrote a song about that.
Really?
I'm going ugly early tonight.
And I know that you served with people like this, Chris. We had a guy in my company by the name of Groller. They went out hogging one night. He fell in love and married it. Mm-hmm. And you remember that line that Smokey you gave in the first Friday movie, like, she's big on all sides. She get out the car talking about Janet Jackson looked more like Freddie Jackson. Yeah, this was it.
When she gets in the
car,
he
had it going on so much that, I mean, the party came from the back all the way to the front. We're talking front butt and made bread. They had offspring.
Whenever she gets in
there was so much front butt there that when the kid came out to shoot, he was like, "Oh God, what is this? Fresh air! Oh my God!"
Whenever she gets in a car, the shocks start crying a little bit.
Yeah, like her babies come out of the womb with a yeast infection. That's how much dough was in there.
Oh God.
When you say there's one in the oven, there's literally
one in the oven.
One in the oven.
Nobody does it like Sarah Lee.
Oh
dear God!
New meaning to the term doughboy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Anyways, we're moving on.
What were we talking about again? How the hell did we end up here?
Somehow or another, we went from the Ranger City Connect to bread.
It's how the what happens when we end up having a stopping point on accident.
Right. Yeah. Let me see here. NFL news, really nothing to talk about. The draft is coming up. We know that. We'll talk about the draft when the draft happens. Let me see here. So Bryce Young, the quarterback coming out of Alabama, he has canceled all of his remaining pre-draft visits with other NFL teams. So he kind of has an idea as to where he's going to go.
Is that the one that's supposed to be like the number 1 draft pick for this year?
Well, it's between him and CJ Stroud from Ohio State. So I'm kind of thinking that either Bryce Young is going to come to Houston to play for the Texans, or he's going to go to the I think it's the Bears who have the first round draft pick or the number 1 overall pick. Can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter.
They trade those off. You could be right in like 1 week, and the next day or next hour be wrong.
Yeah. It's kind of like trying to predict the Final Four bracket. The March Madness bracket. There's still that tournament out there, that contest or that sweepstakes that if you get it 100% correct, you get $1 million, right? I think maybe one person won it like 2 years ago. Oh, speaking of March Madness, the men's Final Four and championship game held here in Houston, oddly, was nowhere to be seen on the news.
What was that? Sorry.
The men's Final Four and national championship game for basketball that was held down here at the NRG.
Yeah.
Like you didn't hear anything about the championship game.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess no people stop liking fucking basketball.
Well, no, that's not it. It's just I think that the women's championship game kind of took all the spotlight.
No, yeah.
Women play too.
We're gonna move on before you get okay. Let me see here. The NHL playoffs start tonight. So at 6:30 our time, in about less than an hour, Boston is hosting game 1 against the Florida Panthers. Carolina at 6 o'clock Eastern time, that's about 20 minutes from now, hosts the New York Islanders. The Dallas Stars at 8:30 host the Minnesota Wild. Edmonton, they face off against, they host the LA Kings at 9 o'clock our time. That's all today. And then you've got just a ton of games tomorrow. And then game 2 for the other series, kicks off on Wednesday. So yeah, the hockey playoffs start tonight. It's gonna be a fun playoffs. That's for sure. So let me see here. Moving on. NASCAR, Kyle Larson won at Martinsville this weekend. Chase Elliott made his return to the car after healing a broken tibia. Yeah, it's tibia. The shin in his right leg. It healed a lot faster than everybody had anticipated. He was cleared to drive, and he got in the car for the race this weekend, and he finished with a top 10. So that was pretty good, considering the fact he's been out of the car for 3-4 weeks now. Well, about 6 weeks, right? But let me see here. There isn't a ton out there.
Yeah, it's actually all world news right now because what's been going on with the economy and whatnot.
Yeah,
they officially announced that we're in a recession.
Yeah.
Like 2 years.
So the guy that leaked all of those Pentagon documents.
Yeah. Which will
go. What the situation was on that, right? Like what the circumstances were. Yes. He was getting trolled by like some teenagers on a Minecraft Discord server.
They caught him.
He was all bragging about his security clearance, and they were like, "You ain't got a security clearance." And he was like, "Yeah, check this out." And he just drops a bunch of classified documents on a Discord server.
It literally said, "If you don't show us, you're a cuck." Yeah. And he's like, "I'll show you." And
he did it for clout.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
what's hilarious is this does not surprise anybody that has spent even 5 minutes on a Discord server. That is 100% how that shit.
Yeah. For those of our older listening audience, those of you who don't understand the whole environment on the Discord server, think back to the days of Modern Warfare 2 lobbies on the Xbox 360.
Yes. Yes. Most people wouldn't survive. There's a lot of people that would just like, they would die. They would compared to this.
Yeah.
So sad. It is rough. It's still around. It's just
you literally you could copy paste if you were to get the transcripts from a Modern Warfare 2 lobby and put those in a Discord server, you would not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racial.
Well, I cannot get a hold of Colin tonight, so I don't know what is going on there.
We'll go with the last bit of news.
Before we jump into that real quick, I'm going to do a live read from our, dare I say, maybe our first official sponsor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week's episode of Nerd Sports is brought to you by Mobile Notary Mindy. She's a certified mobile notary signing agent and remote online notary based in Lake Jackson, Texas. She provides accurate, prompt, and professional services to her clients, and that is her top priority. She can expertly guide you as her client through the process to ensure all documents are signed in completion or to completion and delivered on time. Her services do include loan documents, refinances and mortgages, wills and trusts, powers of attorney, titles, bills of sale, acknowledgments, HELOCs, reverse mortgages, and much more. And if you have any questions, she is bonded and insured. Give her a call or text her at 979-258-1078. She's also there on Facebook, Instagram, and she even has a TikTok page, Mobile Notary Mindy. So there you go.
So since Colin is not available, I do have a joke.
Oh, okay. So to the plate. Bring it.
Okay. My girlfriend's dog died, so I tried to cheer her up by getting her an identical one, and it just made her more upset. She screamed at me and said, "What am I supposed to do with 2 dead dogs?"
Oh my God.
You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need a parachute to go skydiving twice.
I mean, that's a good point. That is a valid point, sir.
Last one. My husband is mad I have no sense of direction, so I packed up my stuff and write.
So,
okay.
The kids all started crying the other night when I was cutting onions. Onions, it turns out, was a really good dog.
That's awesome.
Son tells his father, "I have an imaginary girlfriend," and the father sighs and says, "You know you could do better." And the son replied, "Thanks, Dad." Father shakes his head and goes, "I was talking to your girlfriend." Why'd the Lepers hockey game get canceled?
Why?
There was a face-off in the corner. That is an oldie but a goodie right there, man.
Chimpanzees too.
Yeah.
I'll never forget my granddad's last words to me just before he died. He asked me, "Are you still holding the ladder?"
Another news is my granny turned 91. It wasn't a joke. She turned 91.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Larry Dickerman, there you go.
No, I was thinking about the one joke that I just remembered was I want I wanted to I want to go out in my sleep like my grandmother, not kicking and screaming like the other passengers
in the car.
You know, David, it's good to have a good vocabulary, because had I known the difference between the words antidote and anecdote, one of my very good friends would still be alive today.
It's a hell of a story.
Okay, so you want a story? Here you go. All right. There was a fish swimming, and he looks up at the surface of the water, and he sees a fly, and he says, "When that fly dips closer to the water, I'm going to jump up and eat the fly." And at the edge of the water, there's a bear, and he's looking at this fly, and he says, "When that fly goes down, fish is going to jump up and eat the fly. I'm going to grab the fish and eat the fish." Well, behind a tree about 30 yards back is a hunter, and he's staring down the sights of his rifle, and he's looking at everything going on. He says, "Well, when the fly drops, fish is going to eat the fly, bear's going to eat the fish. I'm going to shoot the bear." Well, at the foot of the hunter is a field mouse, and he's staring at everything, and he looks up and he sees a candy bar sticking out of the hunter's pocket. He goes, "When the fly lands, fish is going to eat the fly, bear's going to eat the fish, hunter's going to shoot the bear, and the recoil is going to knock that candy bar out, and I'm going to grab the candy bar." Well, at the top of this hill is a mountain lion, and he's looking at everything. He's like, "When the fly lands, fish is going to eat the fly, bear's going to eat the fish, hunter's going to shoot that bear, mouse is going to get that candy bar, and the whole time I'm going to be running down this hill, and I'm going to grab that mouse, and I'm going to have a mouse." Well, the fly lands, fish eats the fly, bear eats the fish, hunter shoots the bear, the mouse gets the candy bar, and the whole time this mountain lion is just hauling ass down the hill, and he gets up to the mouse and he misses, and it lands in the water. You know what the moral of the story is? It takes a lot of foreplay to get a pussy wet. Hey, where do you find a dog with no legs?
Wherever you put him.
Exactly where you found it, where you left it. That's right.
Speaking of where we found him, last news for the sports section of the Nerd Sports Show. Former college swimmer says she was assaulted at an event opposing the inclusion of trans women in women's sports.
AKA.
Former NCAA swimmer Riley Gaines said she was assaulted Thursday on the campus of San Francisco State University. Gaines was at the school to speak about her views of opposing the inclusion of transgender athletes in women's sports. According to events announcement, "I was physically assaulted by one person. I was struck twice, both times hitting my shoulder, with the second strike grazing my face," Gaines told CNN Natasha Chain. "The result of the protesters justice ambushed and cornered me before I was able to move out with the help of campus police." That fucking news article. But the video is there is video of it. Video is shaking. Does not appear to show any assault. "We are conducting an ongoing investigation into the situations," the police staff say. "There will be no arrest related to the event." The university, the police department, in a statement, "The disruption occurred after the conclusion of the events, which made it necessary for UPD officers to move the event speakers from the room to a different, safer location."
See, this is one of those situations where it's like you start to understand that the left and the people who have that kind of ideology are the true fascists in the world, because if they don't want to hear your point of view, they're not open to discourse, they're not open to an actual debate. They assume and they call you names. They call you a Nazi. They call you a fascist. They call you a bigot. And then they try to shout you down. This is what happens when parents don't spank their kids. I mean, really. And this is what happens when you raise an entire generation of kids with a video game screen or a tablet.
Yep.
And it's going to take our country at least a generation or possibly even two to recover from this madness.
That's if we're allowed to recover.
Yeah. But, and so for the nerd portion of the show, this week is the series finale of Star Trek Picard.
Yeah.
Have you been watching it?
I need to catch up on this new season.
Okay, we can't talk about it then.
All I'm saying, Chris, is get ready for the nostalgic feels to hit you right between the eyes.
Yeah.
You are going to be jumping up at the end of episode 9. You are going to be jumping out of your seat screaming, "Fuck yes."
Nice. I'm all of my emotions right now are centered on the Mandalorian finale tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, Wednesday. I am so ready. Oh, it's gonna be so good. This last episode.
I have a theory that that the armorer was actually at one point Darth Maul's apprentice.
Yes, she was. I'm convinced she was one of the faction that sided with him, even possibly briefly.
Yeah.
But the episode was called Spies. I am not convinced the armor is one of the spies.
Yeah.
I am not convinced.
A lot of people are, and I'm not gonna put in my 2 cents on who's the spy, because it's they actually do like a really good twist at the end, no matter what it is. And you won't be able to know anything until like you actually have it, which is fucking phenomenal. And we all went ape shit after season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Season 2, we all cried. We all ran around. I ran around like
first, like the season 1 finale is when you first saw the Darksaber.
Yes.
That was the last scene, was him splitting the Darksaber out. Every single, and I know there's only been 2, but every season finale has been just chef's kiss, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think I read somewhere that they're ramping up for a Mandalorian movie.
Yes, that has been confirmed. They are doing they've announced it, or I know that Dave Filoni and Pedro Pascal have talked about it. But this is also ramping up towards Ahsoka, which coming out.
It's gonna be they're doing a version of the Heir of the Empire type stuff.
Yes.
Which to me, in all complete honesty, Heir to the Empire should have, but for all intents and purposes, should have been the episode 7, 8, and 9 that we got.
Yes. You're absolutely right on that one.
True. And I'm saying this as a fan of 7, 8, and 9. I enjoyed the movies, but I would have liked to have seen Timothy Zahn's framework in place a lot more than what it had.
Yeah.
They've been sharing things, which is great. I enjoy that.
Considering that it was and it's still to this day, the best-selling novel trilogy.
It kicked off the entire expanded universe.
Yeah.
Those 3 books are why the EU was so popular. That's why we have a resurgence in Star Wars right now. Is because you could put that squarely in the lap of Timothy Zahn.
Yeah. But as far as like Star Trek Picard is concerned, season 3, man, I'm telling you what, this has been the best Star Trek that we've had in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a ride for life on this one.
And just Dave, have you seen episode 9?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, Were you not like
You
giddy?
can't fucking say anything about the ending. And yes,
Were you not giddy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I even knew it was gonna happen the way they were.
Yeah, I did too. But like just seeing it play out, phenomenal, dude. I'm just like, yes.
I really want to see more. If they're going to continue doing Star Trek series moving forward, I want to see them more like Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there has been talk and there has been a petition and there's been a lot of movement towards the next series being called Star Trek Legacy.
Because they have in the series, if you're not like totally watching it, they have LaForge's daughters in it.
LaForge's daughters, yeah. LaForge has 2 daughters. And LeVar Burton himself has said that he is completely on board, and so did Brent Spiner, saying that they're on board with coming on as regulars with any kind of legacy series. And
nice.
You know, I don't necessarily think that we need to have a new Enterprise, so to speak, but because they've proven that they can have Star Trek without an Enterprise. They did it with Deep Space Nine. They did it with Voyager. Don't come at me with that Discovery bullshit because sorry.
Yeah, arguably Deep Space Nine was one of the best series that they had.
Yeah.
You know, it will be very hard pressed to find to find the kind of chemistry that the Next Generation crew had or has on screen and behind the scenes. You know, because I mean, like the closer we get towards the series finale, you're starting to see more and more of these behind the scenes videos and some of these like rare clips of cast members giving interviews coming out of the woodwork, especially on TikTok. And just the bromance that LeVar Burton and Brent Spiner have is off the charts phenomenal. You know, and they're family. And the fact that they have these things, I don't know why I didn't know about them sooner, but they're Star Trek cruises. Like a cruise ship, like a Disney cruise or Celebrity Cruise. You're on a cruise ship with cast members from different Star Treks.
Yeah.
And they do Q&As and they hang out with the guests and everything like that. And I've seen a lot of video of Jonathan Frakes on stage doing Q&As and things like that, and then just hanging out with just, you know, with the guests on the ship, you know, when he's not doing his bit. And I'm just like, that's just nuts to me.
Yeah.
So
like, imagine just sitting down and having a beer with fucking number one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Honestly, I would even do Star Trek. I wouldn't go like Star Trek fandom or anything like that. I'd be go gargoyles. I'm sorry. There's more because he actually helped out.
Yeah, he did do gargoyles. He did gargoyles. He's done a few other things, but
what was that one? Not Unexplained Mysteries. What was the one that he did? He did
like Strange but True.
Yeah. I'm just coming out with random shit like that.
Yeah,
right. You know,
Dan Aykroyd is the same way with that
to be
stuff.
Completely and perfectly honest with you, if I got to sit down with like Brent Spiner, I would not bring up Independence Day at all because that was just, I mean, the second one.
Oh, the second one was
just poorly. It for me, it would have to be, you know, all about Star Trek. But you know, it's like there was a video where Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner were sitting down with a guest, you know, on one of these cruises, and this guy, he was just having the time of his life because he's talking to Riker and Data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was commenting on all of the episodes that Jonathan Frakes directed and produced, and Brent Spiner looks at him and goes, "Well, what about the episodes that I directed and produced?" And the fan looked at him legitimately and said, well, I would give you a list, but you haven't done any. Right. So like he was on it. Like he knew you haven't done any, but this guy has. And just the look that he gave him, he was like, it was hilarious. You know,
like
and yeah, I'm not that we haven't showed our nerd card already, but like just this season has really kind of just re-sparked that latent love for the franchise all over again. You know, to where you want to go back and watch the original series. You want to go back and watch the movies, and you want to binge all 9 seasons of the Next Generation, just to pick up on the little things. And then you think back to at least this particular season of Picard and all of the Easter eggs that they've dropped in it. Dude, it's just the writing has been par.
They didn't drop one Easter egg, and it still pisses me off. They didn't have Tuvok saying we ain't found shit.
You know,
it blew my mind when it was. I'm still convinced though that if you read his lips in that line, he doesn't say shit. He says ship with a P. Read
but any interview that he gives, he'll quote the line verbatim, and he's like, I was Tuvok on Star Trek.
Yeah.
And all people come to me about is Spaceballs. And I'm like, huh.
I never realized it was him either.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I thought it was Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. But I will say this, and I'm in Colin Meaney, love the guy to death, great actor. But if Chief O'Brien does not make an appearance in this last episode this week, yes, Chief O'Brien is quite possibly the most important man in Starfleet history.
How so?
Dude, he's been everywhere. He served in the Dominion Wars. He was the engineer for not only the Enterprise but the Defiant and Deep Space Nine. He has served in several campaigns over the course of his Starfleet career.
Yeah, that's true.
He has managed to desert his wife, Keiko, so many times over the course of their relationship. She is still there. She is the real MVP. Let's not make any bones about that. But if Chief O'Brien or Senior Chief O'Brien, because we know that he would never go to the dark side, he would be an enlisted man for life. But yeah, I'm kind of putting that out there. You know, if Chief O'Brien makes an appearance, I'm going to lose my absolute mind.
I could see it.
So, but yeah. I gotta get ready to work. I gotta finish eating my dinner that was so graciously brought into me by my wife.
Other than the slight mishap on the producer side, that was a good episode.
Dude, this was a stellar episode. I mean, even with the mishap, I mean, the behind the scenes that you guys didn't get to see because David paused recording because he thought he needed to reboot everything. I mean, that would have just enriched what was already a gold pressed platinum episode. See what I did there?
Yeah, we saw.
All right. Well, I think it's time that we land this wounded, soon to be retired F-22 Raptor.
Yep. So everybody, Nerd Sports 105. I'm David Dickerman.
Johnny Skelton.
I am Chris Jacka.
Thank you all for watching. Love you guys. Talk to y'all later.
Later.